Nice to see you again. Recently, especially in France, for example, there has been the regulation putting pressure to stop doing the printing receipts. And that's why you come in, because your solution provides a solution to answer this. So would you say that what's going on, is it a sort of trend that you will see happening across Europe or globally around the world?
Yeah, I think what we're seeing now in France with the new regulation anti-waste law that comes into force in April this year, I think that's sort of a rippling effect now across Europe. So essentially what the bill is sort of requiring merchants to do is to stop systematically printing not just the cash register long slip of paper, but also the payment card terminal slip. So typically the smaller stub of paper. So a customer needs to ask for that. Essentially what it would mean for 99% of maybe merchants now is that they're not going to have a post-purchase interaction with the customer. So the typical handing over of the paper receipt after the payment's gone through is going to slightly disappear. We do think there's going to be an opportunity now that a digital receipt is still sent to the customer. Of course, there's email receipts and SMS receipts, which are what we like to call version 1 of what we do. And what essentially kind of enables us and sort of supports us is the Ingenico platform. So we can identify a customer in store against an Axiom payment terminal on PPaaS.
Yes.
And we can enroll that customer in store to digital receipts.
This is a good point, the enrollment. But not everybody has an email address, for example. So how does it work if you go in store and you can't get your receipt printed?
So our model is that we partner up with issuers, fintechs, even a retailer who has their own application. The cardholder will typically enroll their card into those applications. So whether it's a bank app, they might be presented with a dialog box that says, would they like digital receipts if we've got the integration with that issuer? If they hit yes, then in the background, we're receiving their card information. So when they're actually in the store and they're sort of at an activated merchant location that wants digital receipts sent to their customer, we then of course deliver that in real time against the payment card. So it's a different model to your typical, hey, what's your email address or what's your phone number, and then I can send you something. It'll all be done seamlessly at the checkout, so there's no delay. Yeah, friction. Yeah, so there's no queues being generated because someone's trying to spell Chris's really long email address or understand what maybe a phone number is to identify. So it's all seamless, it's really slick, and enabled by Ingenico PPaaS platform, which is great. So
how PPaaS, I mean, from the last time we spoke, has been enabling you to achieve your goals, and what are your next goals?
Yeah, so I think we're good to go now in terms of integrated onto the platform. What we're now looking to speak to during this week is acquirers and banks. Mm-hmm. So our model now is to lure them in and essentially say that with market pressures such as the anti-waste law, with sustainability pressures across Europe, it's about time we now sort of stop the paper printing and move to a digital solution.
How would you say that PPaaS can enable the scalability as we've been speaking for different solutions with our partners?
Yeah, I think the big benefit that we probably mentioned last time as well is a one-to-many integration. So outside of the Ingenico sort of relationship, we would typically do a one-to-one integration with an acquirer or a PSP.
One by one.
Yeah, and what we really love about the new PPaaS platform is essentially that once we get the first acquirer in, all the value compounds after that, because then more acquirers will come to the platform, and our work is essentially done from a technical perspective, so we can then start to service the acquirers' merchants and being up and running as soon as possible. So our model is, of course, to not just deliver the card slip receipt, but also the full basket level typical receipt. And of course, those require different integrations, but we're going to be working with Ingenico to unlock some of those integrations as well. So integrating into the cash register partners that Ingenico and acquirers work with, and scaling.
What would be the best benefits also by using the Axiom range?
I think the form factor. So it's such a big screen when it comes to presenting the card holder with options for digital receipts. It's clearly laid out. The consent mechanism there is clearly presented. And in terms of loyalty elements or rewards that we can also provide to merchants, it's great real estate on the screen that a customer can see how many coffee stamp cards they might have until their next free coffee, or how they could sort of benefit from the loyalty points that might be attached to the payment card. So I mean, that was also a real bonus for us to join the platform, that it's just the latest and greatest payment terminal that we've encountered to date. So excited to be working with it.
So what have been your key accomplishments from last year?
So since the last time we spoke, we've gone live with thousands of merchants. We've been building scheme level integrations with the main card networks, but also expanding across Europe. So I think one of the big accomplishments was to partner recently actually with a fiscalization platform, one of the biggest in Europe, to also expand into new markets. So they will enable us to get the receipt data out, and we're looking to sort of work together again with Ingenico platform in regard to that. So really exciting times.
Thank you very much for your time. It was a pleasure, and learn more about the anti-waste law as well, that has been playing a strong role for your solution, but also for us to deploy it with PPaaS. So it's great to hear from you, from your testimony. Thank you.
Thank you.